North Koreans' troops are getting hammered in Kursk in accelerated rate. On the Ukrainian front, North Koreans use unusual tactics. They move in groups of 40 or more men under heavy fire and across fields littered with mines. They do not stop during attacks. If they capture a position, they leave it to the Russians and prepare for a new assault. The video shows operators of the Special Operations Forces fighting with North Koreans. The Institute for the Study of War, ISW, has reported that the approximately 12,000 North Korean troops deployed in Russia's Kursk Oblast are experiencing significant casualties. Since early December 2024, these forces have suffered an average of 92 casualties per day. At this rate, the entire contingent could be killed or wounded by mid-April 2025. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky stated in early January 2025 that 3,800 North Korean soldiers had already been killed or wounded in the region. This assessment is supported by South Korea's National Intelligence Service, which reported 300 North Korean soldiers killed and 2,700 wounded as of mid-January. The high casualty rates raise questions about the sustainability of North Korea's military support in the region. The Pentagon spokesman shared this with the New York Times that North Korea may deploy reinforcements to the Kursk region within 2 months to support Russia's war against Ukraine. According to him, the United States expects reinforcements of the North Korean military within the next 2 months. The media notes that the Russian Federation has allocated areas for DPRK soldiers to assault in the Kursk region, and unlike the Russians, they are advancing almost without armored vehicles. According to Celeste Wallander, former Assistant Secretary of the Pentagon for International Security Affairs under the Joe Biden administration, the North Koreans are special operations soldiers trained for strike missions. And while in Kursk, Russia faces very heavy losses, and the Norks are insufficient. Out of 12,000, half of them are already dead or wounded after a month and a half of fighting. Now the goal of all the conscription exercises is to coerce 18 and 19-year-old volunteers to sign a contract. But the effects are not good. Sorry, kid, but you are already dead.
Oh, fuck.
Attack drone company Ronins of the Ukrainian 65th Mechanized Brigade damaged or destroyed a Russian Bukiem-3 air defense system. This could be the one that was reported by the Southern Command on January 20th. Another shipment of North Korean 170mm M1989 Koksan self-propelled guns going to the front lines in Ukraine. Alexander Kovalenko shared this image. These long-range systems are already in use, especially on the Lyman front, Ukrainian soldiers confirmed. They act as replacement for lots of destroyed 2S4 Tyulpan heavy mortars. Ships of the Royal Navy of Great Britain tracked a Russian reconnaissance ship as it passed through the waters near the country, reported the Royal Navy Press Service. The Royal Navy ships HMS Somerset and HMS Tyne monitored the Russian Defense Ministry's vessel Yantar. It is officially classified as an auxiliary oceanographic research vessel carrying underwater vehicles. It is known that the Yantar is subordinate to the Russian Ministry of Defense and is not part of the Navy. According to OSINT analysts, it can use deep-sea vehicles and has repeatedly operated near deep-sea infrastructure. An Augusta-Westland AW-101 Merlin deck helicopter was raised from HMS Somerset to monitor its movement toward the English Channel. When the Yantar neared French waters, ships from another NATO member state assumed the task of monitoring it. Prior to that, the 814th Naval Aviation Squadron Swordfish Flight had been monitoring the Russian submarine Novorossiysk for several days. On November 17th, it was reported that the Irish Navy had withdrawn the Yantar from the country's exclusive economic zone. At the time, its presence raised concerns about the security of the interconnector cables that run between Ireland and the UK. These cables transmit global internet traffic from data centers operated by technology companies such as Google and Microsoft, whose EU headquarters are located in Ireland. The modernized Ukrainian Leopard 1A5 has withstood a series of attacks by Russian FPV drones, demonstrating its reliability and effectiveness of additional protection. The video of numerous damage to the combat vehicle was released by Russian operators of attack drones. The combat vehicle was spotted by Russian drone operators in one of the forest belts. After that, the attack copters were sent in the tank's direction. It withstood 3 hits to the frontal area, as well as 2 more to the left side and stern, and then moved to leave the danger zone. As the tank drove onto the road, it made a stop for unknown reasons, during which it received 3 more hits to the roof of the engine and transmission compartment. However, this did not damage the engine, as the tank continued to move forward. Only 2 hits to the same spot, which followed the first strikes, stopped the tank and probably caused a fire. It is noteworthy that the Ukrainian crew fought for their vehicle to the last. Their fate is currently unknown, but there is a good chance that the crew survived, as most of the hits were to compartments far from it. The time interval between the drone's attacks was sufficient for the soldiers to evacuate. The outstanding survivability of the Leopard 1 in this battle is quite unexpected, as the vehicle developed in the 1960s incorporated specific concepts. The designers neglected armor protection, focusing on high mobility and firepower. In the Russian-Ukrainian war, the focus of possible threats shifted from anti-tank guns and tanks to high-speed attack drones. Therefore, the designers of the main armored vehicle directorate developed a massive set of hinged dynamic protection, grills, and nets for the Leopards that would comprehensively protect the vehicle. When asked about more sanctions on Russia if Putin rejects negotiations, Trump responded, "It looks like it." He added that U.S. military aid to Ukraine will be reviewed after talks, but the EU must match U.S. contributions.
Vladimir Putin doesn't come to the table to negotiate with you. Will you put additional sanctions on Russia?
Sounds likely.
And do you think that the war should be frozen currently along
The war should have never started. If you had a competent president, which you didn't, the war wouldn't have happened. The war in Ukraine would have never happened if I were president. But that couldn't happen because the election was rigged. Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comments section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.